Web3ality, and here's your horse host for me,
Wow.
and my co-host for today, Darius, and of
What's up?
course we have our special guest, Dante. Welcome, Dante. Oh,
We can't hear you.
we can't hear you, Dante.
You
There
you
you
can hear
go.
me now.
There you
Okay,
go.
yeah, you can hear me now.
So yeah,
Well, yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you for the invite, and it's my pleasure.
well, thank you for coming to the stream today. And by the way, I'm sorry we're a bit late, but yeah, please introduce yourself um, to the viewers. I mean, I'd better have you to introduce yourself than me. Maybe I. Oh, I think his camera is.
I don't know why. One sec. I think there
It
you
sounded like you
go.
got a Discord notification, and that turned
Oh,
your video off.
I think everything is working now, right?
Looks like
yes,
it.
Yeah.
yes.
Well, yeah, my name is Dante. I am a Venezuelan immigrant in the United States. I'm living in Miami, in South Florida. Um, and well, my background is in psychology. Yeah, psychology, fitness, and spirituality. I have been probably into blockchain technology since 2018. Probably I did a 1 year diploma on my university. I went to university to study psychology, and while I was in my fourth year of university. I did a 1 year diploma about political leadership, disruptive technology, and that's when I started like learning about the future. And I learned historical perspective and how to understand like future scenarios based on history. And so we learn, in that moment we were already talking about like smart contracts and the tokenization of things and the automatization of things, smart cities, smart things, artificial intelligence, the exponential growth of technology. And so that got me to get into the space around 2021. And I got, since my background is like working with people. I understand people. I think that I understand people kind of kind of well. And my kind of my primary uh occupation is like help others to become better selves. um I started working with just around community building, and with a bunch of projects. And moving fast forward to now, like I just since starting this year, I got into AI and art. I am a collaborator for a company that is a startup that works with AI and art. And I actually this week I just started working with Unfungible. I don't know if you know them. Unfungible, Web3, with Leon Abud. Um, and so yeah, that's basically what I do. I manage people. I do AI art, and I am ambassador for like one of the best or the best self development program in the world.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Wow. I mean, what a profile there is, right? I love the journey so far. So my first question maybe is, what brings you to Web3? What's the best thing that you've liked the most on the Web3 space?
The technology. I believe that we are living in a historical moment that is full of change. We are living changes in every aspect of human life, from economics, social, cultural. And so this is just like the synthesis of economics meeting technology, and we just need a renovation of all the systems that are in place right now, since politics, economics, voting systems, everything. And I come up from Venezuela, so my country is pretty messed up, and I want to change my country. I want to do something for my country. Actually, I'm working with my intellectual mentor, to with we are working on a blockchain university. And so yeah, it's just the technology. I want to change the world.
Wow.
I
Me
was just
too.
curious, why a blockchain university when there's already a lot of blockchain education in place? I mean, wouldn't it be easier to adapt the current education methods that are out there for the people in your country via just adapting it for the language, translating?
That's an interesting question. The thing is that, well, this project is already a is a project that my mentor, my teacher, created, that is already certified by the University of La Rioja. It's a master project. So it's really focused on the problems in Latin America, and like we are trying to close the gap of knowledge between the country and the cities. So basically, we are going also to use AI technology to certify, to make like the data analysis of all the careers that are out there, based on the curriculum that is provided by the International Labor Organization. So we are trying just to build something like really focus on the problems of Latin America, and like with, yeah, with AI technology as well. And so we want to create like our own economy, our own token, and just to have it really focused first, starting on our country, and then moving forward for Latin America.
Does that answer your question, Darius?
Yeah, I don't know if that answers.
It does answer the question, and it gets more questions going. That's the
That's
problem
good.
with something as big with what you're trying to do. You're not just trying to do like an education play. You're trying to like set a whole infrastructure for a whole continent basically that's underserviced by banking and other financial institutions. And there's a lot of financial inequity in Latin America, and that's
Oh, well,
yeah.
one thing that I can say is that we want to leverage all the migration that we have. So since we have like 8 million people out, like 25% of the population got out of the country. So we have a lot of well prepared brains out there. We have like yeah, most of the brains of the country went out of the country. So we want to use at least those, the all from those 8 million, 3 million of those people are already with some type of education already, like from university at least level. So we want to leverage on them, to for them, like we want to prepare them to start creating content. So it's actually like a content creation platform, and we want to focus like and things like Android, for example, because and also make it like off kind of a chain, and so people don't even need to have internet connection just to start learning stuff. So yeah.
All right. So yeah, does that answer your question, Darius, or do you have more?
I've always got more questions. Um,
Yeah.
we can we can sit here all day just going back and forth on this one topic, and I mean, it's a huge topic. It's a huge undertaking. And even with the number of people that you have, the drive, and even if they are very intelligent, it's a super difficult process. It's super ingenuitive. Like it's something that you guys are that hasn't been done anywhere else. If you're trying to build like a banking or financial infrastructure for a country, let alone for a continent, So I mean, realistically, it's impressive and a little daunting, and like I'm kind of interested to see like how you guys, beyond the initial step of educating, what your plans are for that type of infrastructure.
Well, first of all, we need we need the funds. We are like looking for $10,000. We can start with $10,000, but
Mhm.
besides that, yeah, we have a lot. Like the good things that I see is that this is already certified for university. This is like a master project that my like yeah, my mentor did. So this is actually certified for a lot of brains behind it that already saw the project and know that it's kind of like actually possible to make it, because this is like it has like at least 25 years of a lifespan. So my yeah, this has been like just in the brain works for the past 6 years or something like that, and it's already certified by a university in a master degree level. So like yeah, I can, like, if you want to learn more, like all the documentation, like, can send it. And yeah, I'm right now what I'm more focused on is just creating a database around the all the topics that we are going to try to yeah, because using the AI technologies, we want also just to teach careers, or like offer careers that are actually going to be useful in the future. So yeah, so I'm focusing on that database and trying to also using my connections in the Web3 space and all of that to yeah, to
Well,
network there.
Dante is well connected. You know what? He hooked me to be one of the testers on the Far House. So he's an OG on the Warpcast. Yes, your eyes stars. I know that you don't know what Far House is. It's the Twitter space of Warpcast. All right, so we tested there, and
Oh, Farcast.
yes,
You
Far
said
House.
Farhouse.
Yes, that's the name of the product. That's you know.
Oh,
So they have it
that's
kind of.
why I didn't know it.
Well, you're not searching anyway. So, well, our title for today is Get to Know You. So, more on, your journey and your personality and, whatever is in that head. I'm interested to know, because artists, they are deep. Hmm. Are they? So, guys, by the way, for those who's watching, we have 27 million viewers. One day, Tyrus, one day. That
One day you'll be able to talk without tripping over your tongue.
Yes. My God. All right. So for those who has questions, just drop a comment. Okay. All right. And well, what should we ask to get more of his personality, Tyrus? Like, when did you learn that you want to be a coach or a life coach, or not learn, but when did you realize that, oh, I want to be a life coach? Or is that something that oh, you wake up and, or something that you studied? Of course, uh, there's a um, there's a certificate needed for that, or is that a 4 years course, or you need to study years to be a life coach?
Um, okay, let me, because I started talking and I talk too much. Uh, so my journey with like self development started when I was 16. Um,
Oh my
I
God,
I
16.
had like a realization that in order to be good with the world, I had to be good with myself. So actually, when I was like about to get out of high school, I got my first tattoo in my left forehand that it says "Nothing else matter," like the Metallica song. Because yeah, nothing else matters. Is first is me, and then is the rest of the world. So I have to be like I am the priority first. And so then yeah, that just got me into like a lot of reflection. I had like my first existential crisis when I was 20 years old, because I felt that I was just failing in life. Even though I was at the moment, I just got out of high school and I started working at a gym in my city. I started at the moment I started like learning and having certificate getting certifications around biomechanics and training and sports nutrition. I got into trail running and I was like an athlete competing in long distance running in mountains and shit. And so I became the manager of the gym, and moved by this existential crisis. When I was 20, I just went to the university to get the psychology degree. Um, and that's when like basically just started working with people, not learning about the human behavior and what we do with stuff, neuroscience and all of that. I did 4 years. Basically, my university is 5 years. It was like is and I dropped out like with my last project. I was almost done, and I dropped out at the end. And so yeah, I became like a professional poker player on online professional poker player.
Oh,
I was playing for one of the best, yeah, platforms out there that is called BBC Poker.
cool.
uh and
BBC.
yes, and then so yeah, I went through a process like depression and stuff, and going ups and downs and learning, and keep like, I'm just obsessed with knowledge. I'm obsessed with, yeah, with science and knowledge. I'm a big nerd. And so I have never stopped learning. Psychology is one of my the love of my life. So I it's just everything around psychology is like, I love it. And I had the opportunity to work like as a psychologist in a nice school for a year, in some psychiatric hospitals, and so I had experience like working in real life as a psychologist. Um, but then yeah, just moving forward, I'm part of a Colombian ayahuasca tribe. I have done, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah,
Let me try it.
actually yesterday I was talking with one of the brothers of the tribe. He is in my city, and last night they had a ceremony. They were like, yeah, yeah, last night
Oh,
was a
I'm
ritual night.
I'm
uh,
interested to know.
yes, so this opened me up a little. Yeah, of course, I have experiment a lot of with psychedelics and a lot of the stuff. I'm pretty open with that. And so that's why I like, basically I just refer to myself like psychology, fitness, and spirituality, basically. And yeah, if I have to like, my self image is like a Navy SEAL, Buddhist monk, uh hippie, flower eating, yeah, a flower eating hippie. And
Flower
that's
eating.
basically who I am, like just a hippie, basically. So I have
We
all
have
of
to
this.
toss that prompt into an AI at some point and
Yeah,
see
yeah,
what it
yeah, yeah,
spits
yeah.
out.
Let's see. Well, I have here Chat GPT for. Let's see. Type that.
That's my personality based on basically those
We're gonna have a
images.
new avatar for you with that personality quote.
Flower eating. Oh my god, that's so cool.
A
Anyway,
flower eating Navy SEAL with what was it? What was the other part?
Buddhist monk, a Buddhist
so
a monk. Yeah.
There we
you
go.
you studied human behaviors, kind of, right, during your university days. So what's the most fascinating that you've discovered so far from that studies about human behaviors or human nature?
Just to end the last point,
Oh,
this January, I was reading a book that is called Heroic Arete, the Heroic Platform. Is wrote by Brian Johnson. And reading the book, I discovered that they had a platform or like an app. You can check it out. That is called Heroic. I sent it to you,
Yes, I
Harley, I
have.
think. And so I I wrote an essay about the modern society, how we are like ill, the illness of the society, the addiction, and all of that. And I sent it to the creator of the platform, to Ryan, and I won a scholarship and to start, yeah, to become an ambassador and to start learning the program. And that's how like I just everything makes sense to become like just be a coach. And because I yeah I realized that my purpose is just to help others like
Mhm.
flourish, basically.
That's
And
awesome.
so it just makes sense that all the knowledge that I have been accumulating, and also now with the with I am learning in the platform, it just like everything makes sense to me. um but talking about like the most, like I'm one of the things that most that fascinate me the most is just neuroscience, I think. How like physiology actually drives psychology. And also like being doing these experiments are with drugs and psychedelics and everything. um is really interesting to see how the subjective experience actually match the science. So, and also like everything is kind of in the brain, but there is a stuff that we cannot only explain with the brain. And so we are such a complex being that. And so, for example, I was listening to Lex Friedman. I love Lex Friedman. And he was talking with Sarah Walker, and she's a physicist. Um, yeah, ensemble theory physicist. And she was saying that we are like basically we are the universe. The universe is compressed inside of us. So we are like the most advanced way of the universe to try to understand itself and to express consciousness. And so like we are just so long in time. We are like 4 billion years of evolution just in ourselves. And but when like, and this is just on theory, so this is something that comes out from a person who has never tried psychedelics or anything. And actually she says that when she listens, or when she read about psychedelic experiences, actually Lex Friedman just went to the jungle like last month to for a psychedelic trip and all of that. And she says that when you have the psychedelic experience, you are actually doing physics, because you are like living like. And that's how I feel in my own subjective experience, is that I have learned that we are the universe, like we are the creative energy. But I have both sides. That I'm always trying to like match the science with the subjective experience. Always trying to experiment and connect both. And so that for me is just the most wonderful. And also like um everything about humans, everything about ourselves. Like we are such a complex being. Like we are bio, psycho, social, spiritual being. So everything is connected. Everything is working inside of us at the same time.
Everyone is connected. Did you get anything from that, Taris? Like we are the universe, kind of. Have you tried psychedelic? Um, what does that even mean anyway?
It's like THC is technically like a psychedelic. It's kind of mild compared to like ayahuasca or
What are those
salvia.
English?
They're they're basically plant based drugs that make your head go wee.
Oh,
Um,
oh.
yeah, they're trip drugs. So like the ancient Indians used to use them for a lot of their spiritual practices, and that's where like ayahuasca comes in and peyote, peyote, peyote.
Yes.
It's more of like a North American version. Ayahuasca being more South American jungle driven. Um, but I hear that it's a really interesting experience to have. It's almost along the lines of like a shrooms journey,
Shroom.
almost from what
Oh,
I've heard. Yeah.
is that
Mhm.
is
So
that something legal to the Philippines as well?
probably not.
I'm just
In a lot of places, it's not legal. They're starting to have more psychedelic wellness centers in the United States now. I don't know how legitimate they are. I don't know if it's like Delta 10 or like what
what does it
kind of.
do? Why it's prohibited in the first place, or why others are trying it, or what does it do generally to a person, or something that's general, something that's the same because it's a subjective, right? But what does it do to a person, like their common denominator that, oh, not common, but the, what does it do to a person if you uh
First of all, everything is a drug. Okay, like everything, like
oh,
even the
oh,
food,
okay.
even like everything,
Mhm.
like
Salt,
sugar,
sugar.
coffee.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
Exactly, it's
someone
every
actually yeah, someone says sugar is the most addictive one, and that we just
yes,
don't know it,
and
or
fast food.
It completely alters your brain receptors for what you're
mm,
eating. It rewires your taste buds. There's a lot of things that sugar does that's
mm,
really not good for you.
yeah,
And the worst part of it is when you start to get into like the what is it, the synthetic sugars and stuff, rather
mm,
than like the more natural sugars. The natural sugars we're used to processing a little better. Our bodies are
my
meant for it a
god.
little more, but like the synthetic sugars can really be detrimental, and that's what we drink in all of our sodas and everything. So yeah.
And the phone
uh,
also technology also works as
mm,
a drug as well.
as your
Yeah,
because it rewires our dopamine receptors when we have the instant
dopamine.
gratification of videos and continuing to have that stimulation and feedback on a
Yes.
regular basis. Yeah.
Mhm. So,
Yeah.
And on the psychedelic part, like yeah,
mm,
actually, weed is more a psychedelic when you eat it. Basically, when you make
oh,
the process by eating
like,
is when you really feel it, the psychedelic effects. Because it's a different process that it goes on the processing of the THC. So psychedelic experience is basically an expansion. An experience where you the consciousness is expanded.
that's what I'm
You,
imagining. It's like something in you will be unlocked, kind of like,
yes,
It's more
you
of a
can see it right
spiritual
now.
belief to it, but
No, like actually, well, what I believe, yeah, you can say that, but actually, what the brain is doing right now is just filtering everything. So the brain is a filter of the all the stimuli that we are receiving. So the idea for the brain to do that is just because if the brain opens up, what is all the stimuli that is out there actually happening at every moment, we will be like crazy. We won't be able to tolerate reality. So the brain, what it's actually doing is just filtering the all the stimuli that comes from our senses and making sense of it in a way that we can just comprehend it. So
mm,
when what happens with psychedelics is basically you open up that filter. So
oh
the
god,
filter goes
mhm.
down and you start receiving all the signals. So that's why people talk about like vibration and yeah, basically vibration, because actually you start seeing kind of like you can see the waves of things, because everything is a wave.
oh
Like
my god,
light is a wavelength, the sound that we are receiving is a wave. So you can actually see the vibration of things, and is a consciousness. Every perception, every sensory, yeah, the is just expanded, everything. So
where is
you
it
see
legal?
more. Huh?
Where is
It's
it
like
legal?
living life HD, basically in high definition.
Yeah, for where is it legal at the moment? How much is it to travel there?
Well, I think that the problem is I feel I believe that Philippines is like really hard on drugs, on any type of drug,
Yes.
basically.
But
In the US, they are opening up like for mushrooms, like that right now they are really opening up with all the psychedelic therapies, like for PTSD, for example, the use of ecstasy and PTSD, and like the magic mushrooms is, you, for example, there is a relationship between 7 grams of mushrooms, depending on what strain that you are getting, and having like a similar experience like ayahuasca type. So
Mm.
if you eat like 7 grams of mushrooms, you will get like a similar experience to talk to God, or go to another dimension, and stuff like that. So
Uh,
um and basically, yeah, here, like, well, in Latin America, ayahuasca is the ayahuasca for real is protected. It's a cultural protected plant, basically,
oh,
it's almost like
by
sages
UNESCO.
here for
mm,
Indians,
Yes, so it's
or well,
actually
Native
protected.
Americans, but yeah.
That's something that Clinton did that. Actually, the who was the Taita, or the shaman, the biggest shaman of there are in the south, in the Amazon, there are 6 tribes that are like the protectors of the plant. um the shaman who used to be the leader, the spiritual leader of the Amazon, was the Taita Kerubin. That is actually the Taita. He was the Taita of my tribe, that is Los Cofanes, from the Putumayo. Actually, he died in just in January,
Mm,
from 108 years old. And he came in the 90s representing the 6 tribes, because the US, and there was like a lot of projects to start making stuff in the Amazon. So these 6 tribes, they get together, they organize it, and then he came, and you can actually look it up, like Clinton and the Taita Kerubin just checking hands in the White House. And that's how the ayahuasca became like a protected by the UNESCO, like a cultural value. So
I see.
it's open it up. In the US, it's going to be more open, and I
Taris,
believe.
prepare the passport, green one. Okay.
uh, I've actually been waiting to do something along the lines of like an ayahuasca
Hey,
trip or
let me go with you. I want that too. It's
it's so hard. Like you can find places online that'll sell it to you, but then there's chances that it'll get intercepted in the mail, and then top it off, like there's you can have like a really good trip, tends to be shorter, so they have like MAOI inhibitors, the drugs that are supposed to help to enhance the experience or prolong it. You can use those. Um, they work for shrooms as well, I believe. Um,
the
Yeah,
one.
the thing
if
about
I'm
ayahuasca is that the ayahuasca is actually 2 plants. It's not just one. Do you have one
Yeah,
plant the plant that has the DMT, and the plant
yeah,
that is just that allows you to absorb the allows the body to absorb it. With mushrooms, the thing is that for me, this is a ritual. For me, this is medicine. So I don't see it like a trip that I will have a good
well,
time.
it's part of
Actually,
your cultural beliefs and your practices.
yes,
Yeah.
because we believe that we are like, the first time that you do it is like an initiation, actually. So
Hmm.
you are getting initiated like a passage ritual, right? A ritual passage. So you are getting initiating into the mystery, for like how we call it, and you become like through the night, because this is the whole night. So basically, the ritual start at 12 a.m. and until the 6 a.m., because the effect is like 7 hours, something like that.
Wow.
And you have the several drinks. You don't only drink once. Actually, you kind of like drink 3 times, because you purge. It's a medicine that is cleaning from inside out. So actually, you have
Yeah.
to, if you have to clean yourself, you will purge. And so it's not like a trippy experience. Like, it's actually like for the first 2 hours you spend the whole time just in silence meditating, and then at 2 a.m. in the morning they start like making the music, for example. The music starts happening, the medicine music. So is like is a cleaning, it's a medicine, and it's not like that's why we call it that. We once you are going through the night to like go through hell and then get reborn into the light, so you become a warrior of the light because you are able to survive death through the night.
All right.
Hmm.
Thank you so much. By the way, we have a question here. I just saw on Twitter from Creon. So Creon says, question to Dante. What impacts are you looking to achieve IRL that could potentially help your country or your local community? I understand there's been a huge inflation crisis in Venezuela. So how will your project make even just a little difference? So I think this was a question for the the
The
first,
education and the blockchain aspect, yeah.
and
Well,
there's another
the
one.
thing is that everything, as I said, everything is connected. So I believe that we need to start working on ourselves. And so that's what I actually preach. Is just w- making people just reflect on their own health. We should be just prioritizing health. And the program that I also like, the coaching program that I have, is we focus on three areas of life: energy, work, and love, because we are energy, and this is all everything based on science and research. So we are actually using like ancient knowledge from the Greeks, and the philosophers, and modern science to provide modern tools, basically. So because the program is pretty practical. The idea is to make people start changes like really fast and start feeling the changes of things. Like, for example, in energy we have seven fundamentals, that is just eating, breathing, moving, sleeping, focusing, appreciation, and prosperity. So we work around those seven fundamentals to start rising up the levels of energy that we have. So my basically my idea is that we can change the world one person at a time. So one of the purpose of heroic is to, by the year 2051, have have the 51% of the population flourishing. So, and this is all based on metrics. They have a couple of metrics where where we can measure this. So that's basically what I'm trying to do, is just trying to reach every time that I can, like work with one person and start their own process. It's just, that's enough to me. With the blockchain and all of that, that's more that we can do, is just through education, because that's another part, like raising the levels of education without needing a centralized institution to, yeah, to basically do that, because we believe that internet is like a school, basically, like everybody can learn stuff from the internet right now. So yeah.
Exactly. Well, he
Hmm.
said shroom is one of the uh, example of what he says here. Give me a sec. Forgot. But
The example of a psychedelic,
psychedelic
yeah.
too, if you are looking for another example. Oh my God, Creon. Creon, where are you at? Do you have kitty?
Mushrooms are the best, basically. That's what I like. That's what I've done here, since I don't have access to ayahuasca here. It's like really hard to get ayahuasca here. There are another stuff,
But
and the thing is that I don't I don't I don't trust white men with ayahuasca.
Yeah, I
um,
don't blame you. I don't blame them.
I mean,
because you were saying it, Tari, is right. Like you don't know what can like be
What they're gonna
temporary
put
with the
in.
stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, so you don't know. You never
Yep.
know. So with probably that, and that's the problem with every drug. Like we never know. Like that's why if
Even
you want to
weed.
try something, yes, if you want to try something, you need to know where it's coming from. If you
Exactly.
can.
That's why I like the recreational now, because if you have it luckily enough in your state, or me as a truck driver, I can't take any sort of drugs. Like I can't even take, like, I think I have personally, I think I'm a late diagnosis ADHD. I can't even take like Adderall or any of the upper stimulants that I would possibly be prescribed. I would have to take a non-stimulant because I'm federally regulated. So I
Mm,
can't take any sort of amphetamines or anything like that. So yeah, it's if you're lucky enough to be in a state where it is regulated and you can get access, go through like the dispensaries, they're a little safer. You don't have to worry about people, dousing it with other chemicals or lacing it with anything like you can potentially have an issue with on the street level. You say even with um, like prescription drugs like Adderall and stuff like that, you have to worry about people screwing with with what you might buy. So yeah, it's just, if anybody does partake, be very cautious with where you're getting your source.
Exactly. Exactly.
all right. Well, thank you so much for answering.
Luckily enough, I have friends that just grow their own like mushrooms, so I know, like, that, for example, that's a way
Oh
to go. So
yeah,
Much,
the really good stuff. There you go.
you know where to get one. Sure. Kidding.
uh,
Well,
Harley's like all excited to get shroomed up.
well, because everyone whenever I go to spaces, if it's American spaces, what they all talk about is getting high, and they're all high, and I am there listening how high they are, listening to their bongs.
That's because we have an escapism issue with the
Yeah.
United States. Like everybody wants to be anywhere but where they are in any life but what they're
Yeah,
living. And it's usually because life is very unsatisfying. I mean, if
well,
you think about it, a lot of what we do is we work and we try to play and enjoy ourselves, but for the most part, we don't achieve the things that we tend to want to achieve in life. So the idea of being able to escape from a situation that you're not 100% content with, usually psychedelics or drugs tend to help adjust that mindset, take you out of where you are and put you into a better place, even if it is temporarily.
so
So
you mean to say when a person is already satisfied with, with everything in their surroundings, they tend to not take any of those, like even if it's available in their, you
that's
know
the thing. That's the thing. That is not like only by taking drugs or smoking weed that you escape reality. Actually, you can do it with everything. You can do it with
with the phone,
overwork.
yeah.
Exactly. Just
Phone.
scrolling social media. Like, the thing is that there
doom
is a
scrolling.
real connection. There is a
Mm,
real connection between self development, like doing the things that are good for us, and stopping doing the things that are not good for us, with
mm,
self worth. Like,
so-
if I don't feel with in myself, in my intimate, in my team, intimity, yeah, in myself, that I am worthy of a better life, that I am worthy and capable of achieving better things, I will never start doing the things that are good for me, because I don't feel good enough for that. So there is also like a shameful feedback always there. Phil Stutz called it the part X. That part of you that is always telling you, and that is something that will never go away. Not even for me. I some people will watch my life probably, and they will say that I'm really disciplined, and I might believe that on some point. But every day, today I woke up and I went to the yoga, but I didn't want to do that. For me, I just feel like a lazy motherfucker. But the thing is that I just push myself to do the things because I know the result of that. I have made the connection between, I need, if I want to like if I want to change the world, like if I want to lead others, I have to lead myself first. And the thing
Yep.
is that we have to start asking these questions to ourselves, like, what is our purpose? What is that I want to achieve? Like, there is a real also relationship between having a fulfilling life and feeling useful to the world, feeling that you are building something, and you are going to leave the world as a better place as you find it. So actually there is a connection of having like a social commitment to the things that you do. And that's why like I like to help others. Like I'm trying always to put my knowledge, my skills at service to the world, to make the world a better place. So it's not about me, it's about making things better.
I
See,
see.
that's the thing though. You come from a place that has a large lack of opportunity, even though there's not a lack of a lot of things in general. Like there's opportunities, but there's lack of opportunities because everybody around you tends to be less fortunate as well. So you don't have the opportunity like a lot of people have in the United States. But even then, in the United States, even though even though we don't have the lack of resources, we tend to have the lack of drive and that lack of social connection that makes us strive to want to do more, want to be better for other people, want to connect better with other people, or make the world a better place for people around you. You do tend to have that still. There are still a lot of people who do feel that calling, but I feel like there's more of a disconnect now than ever when it comes to people and the idea of bettering society and bettering community because there's that disconnect from people.
Mm. But
From ourselves, this connection is from the inside. And I
mm,
will we can start making the, the uh how do you call, when you put yourself the tenfold hat, the conspiracy theories. And we can start saying like, is the system trying to make us like this just because in this state we are easier to manipulate and to control? For example, we
I
c-
think so.
we could make we could make, for example, in the case of psychedelics, that there has been like a stigmatization and demonization, the same that they did with weed, for example, and the cannabis, like the plant, because they could do a lot of stuff like paper, and do better, like products around using the are actually the plant. But there is a whole industry just trying to push something else. We can see right now, for example, with Ozempic, that probably those type of drugs will start making a chief on the pharmaceutical industry, because they are seeing that there is a lot of profit on the enhancing drugs, for example, but it's everything about profit. And the thing is, I have like a lot of a perspective around the US, because I live here, and that's like most of my content and the things that I study are come from the US. So I do see like this is kind of like the most ill place right now. But it's because like everything is sugar, everything is addiction, everything is disconnection. People don't have like strong bonds with each other. People don't relate each other, and it's crazy. But this is something that we are living
Even when it
all
comes
over.
to health, even when it comes to general physical health, I mean, we have the resources in this country that most countries don't have when it comes to the healthcare system, and we don't use it because in a lot of cases we're afraid to have that hospital bill or the doctor's bill. I mean, like we at one point the healthcare system was probably situated a lot better. We had a lot more employers that provided healthcare at a more affordable and reasonable price, but now, like, if even with healthcare through an employer, you're looking at $5,000 a year for deductibles. Like, you're looking for co-insurance in ridiculous amounts. Most people working at that level, working at what, 10, 15, $20 an hour, can't afford that deductible for the year if something did happen. And so what do? They just deal with the symptoms as they come, wait for it to get bad enough, and then they eventually just go to the hospital and have to deal with the one big incident and either go into debt with it or, you know, go bankrupt.
And also that life has become too easy. So we just want easy fix, easy solutions. And the thing is that we could say also like the healthcare system is just trying to keep you sick instead of actually being healthy, because if you are healthy, you won't need the healthcare system actually. So they are just providing you with pills to just like
Symptom treatment.
partially, yeah, just partially make you go by with a little bit and go and just come back, and you, because that's the business, right? You have to keep coming back to the dealer basically, that
So,
is the pharmaceutical companies, and just to
someone
keep us
messaged.
there.
Sorry, Dante. And by the way, out of the topic, but someone messaged me and said, "Oh my God, he only needs 10K as for funding," and I was like, someone's interested." So yeah, I'll DM later about that. And talking about that, whatever's in your surrounding, that makes you, that contributes in your whole um like personality. So before I was thinking like from 1 year old to 29 is like it's not the real it's not all you, or some of the behaviors that you have is because of the contributions of what's around you and how they treat you. And I was like, is there any kind of like phase of your life that you have the control now to on how to react? I think that's when we when we uh, are doing the personal development. It's when you're fixing all of the all of the behaviors and the on how you react on things. And that's why Dante or the other what's the term again, like the life coaches, that's why you guys exist, because you know there's a lot of not good behaviors that's being just, it's unfair, right? Because it's not supposed to be, or we're not gonna be reacting that way, or some of the behaviors,
Learn behaviors.
yeah, learned behaviors. In it's just because they are around us or they treat us that way. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to have more sessions with you, Dante, because I think this is just the beginning. We just gave the audience on the uh kind of like the whole uh it's like an overview of what we can talk about more. I think we touched on crypto and education at the first, and then we dip down into the drugs and psychedelics, and then right now personal development. And yeah, I think that's this session uh, is really important for me because, well, to tell you the story, guys, Dante, I saw him a few times already on the karaoke spaces that I'm going every weekend. That's Saturday and
Your
Sunday. That
drunk
drug
spaces.
spaces. We go there, and I saw him there already, like one. No, no, no. It's been a month, I think, or four times that I saw him there. And then I go. I went to his profile and saw an art, and I really like it. So I minted on, it's on base, and then he told me that I'm his first collector, and now he's an official artist of Hug. Oh my god! Congratulations, Dante. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
he's an artist, an AI artist. Is that right, Dante? Or what's the?
AI art, generative AI art, yeah.
Mm,
And just to say something, I since the platform that I represent is heroic, and
yeah, yeah.
the whole idea is based on the theory of Joseph Campbell, the hero's journey, and all of that. Um, the hero's journey transcends into the artist's journey. So being an artist is like basically a quality that we all have. Being creative is a quality that we all have. Creativity is something that we can express in any action that we do at every moment. Basically, it's something that we can. Basically a skill that we have as a create, because we are like a creator inside of us. We have it. The thing is that we have to cultivate it, we have to do the things that, and and that's why probably you can see artists looking for inspiration in, like, I don't know, because in abuse, in substances or anything. And probably if we start just connecting with ourselves, being aware of who are our references, and like, because everything could be an inspiration, and the creative energy is inside of us. So the idea is that, yeah, we are always facing challenges. Those challenges are like our dragons that we are going to kill as a hero. But the hero, after he finished the journey, he goes, he slays the dragon, and he comes back with a story. So that's what we only have as a human being. It's just the story that we are going to tell, the story that we are going to share with others, and that's actually what we do through art. An artist is just a person who is expressing their life, expressing their narrative through some type of form or way or anything. um and I don't like I understand that a lot of like behavior is a lot of learning, is a lot of behaviors are learned, and we have habits, but the habits become our personality and our identity because it's the things that we are constantly doing. And I just want to leave you with the idea that we are on charge of that. Like, life presents itself at every moment as a decision. We are always taking the decision of improvement, getting out of the comfort zone and growing, or staying in safety and just staying in the same place. So men or humans are like, um, exchanging freedom for safety. So if you want to be free, you actually have to start making yourself comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that's the thing, like, and that's the process. That's why it's so difficult to people to start doing the things that they need to do, even though they know in themselves what are they, because there is pain there. It's not easy. It's going to be difficult. And the idea of being a hero is that it's supposed to be challenging. Slaying a dragon is not going to be easy, you know? So if we want to be, is two places. Either we are a creator, or we are a victim, or we just complain, or we just start doing. So we are always in these two phases. We are an explorer, or we are just in this state of anxiety, uh, perceiving reality as a threat. So we are always like, either we choose to growth, or we choose to stay in safety and in comfort. And there is nothing in comfort.
Thank you so much for that. Hey, Darius, where'd you go? Darius.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Well, thank you so much again, Dante. And this will not be the last interview. This is just the first. And thank you, Tyrus, as well for co-hosting today. And thank you, for the question and for all the learnings. And I hope that you guys allow me to go to the US and try that too. Tyrus, guide me there.
I have
And
to
last
find it
one,
myself first.
Well, we have here Dante. He knows where.
we can start first. We can start with the small things, just to get, yeah, before,
So
like, yeah, we have to be in a certain place before it
we
start,
will
like,
do.
getting deeper, I guess.
Yes.
And the last thing is that I'm going to be at the Beeple's Pepe Fest. I
Mm.
won an open call for Beeple's, and
Oh my God, Beeples.
in August, yeah, I got selected. I sent an artwork, and the artwork is going to be in the exhibition.
Mm.
So yeah, I have
Oh
that's going
my
to be my
God.
first in real life exposition that I'm going to be actually going there.
Oh my
So
God. That's
amazing.
awesome. That's exciting, Dante. And for the people that wanted to like talk to you or your services as a life coach, where can they find you or message you?
Yeah, basically through X. Just send me a direct message, and I'm there every day. You can, yeah, just check it out there, and from there we can start anything, the process, or if they have any questions or anything, I'm just there.
So is the offer that you told me the other day, the our first session,
Yes,
is it still okay? So
yes,
for the
yes.
for the people who wants to have a life coach, here's Dante, and yeah, you can have the you can DM me, and I will connect you to Dante as well. All right, Taris. So do you have
Yeah, the,
anything
the first the first session, the first 45 minutes are for free.
for
That's
free?
that's the thing. Yeah.
And his account is also tagged on my post on X, so you can DM him directly to that account. And by the way, Taris, you there? Do you have any last words for the audience, or for Dante? Any last question? You, I think he's working right now.
No, I everything's. I don't really have any questions at the moment, but thanks for joining us, Dante.
Thank
Yes,
you, Tari. Yeah, I'm up service, bro. Anything if you want to also, yeah, just connect. I'm here. It's a pleasure to have met you, and yeah, thank you for your time as well.
thank you again, Dante, and thank you to all of our viewers for today, Web3 Reality. And see you tomorrow again, 7 a.m. EST. Well, our specials are Sunday, 10 a.m. EST. And have a great